Hi guys, it's Rob from Roll Balls. I've got the first update on my maternal incubation clutch. Unfortunately, it hasn't gone as well as I intended. These intros I'm filming a couple of days after the event. So you saw the video yesterday of me announcing a maternal incubation, and you'll see the day after me pulling the clutch because things did not go according to plan. I think what's happened here is the female has laid her eggs on a flat surface in a tub that just has paper, and she wasn't able to bed down and make a nest, make some sort of impression in the substrate in order to clump those eggs together. So she actually laid them all spread out along the bottom of the tub, and there were 12 eggs, which occupied quite a big area since they're all flat, and she was struggling to cover all those eggs. And we know from Joe Tully's maternal incubation video series that incubating females do move around quite a lot. They don't just curl up and go to sleep on the eggs, they actually actively maintain a microclimate around the eggs and adjust their own body position to suit. So this girl was extremely restless and moving around quite a bit. She could not properly cover the whole clutch of 12 eggs, and in the process of moving around, I noticed the other day that she'd kicked out another 2 eggs which had rolled out, and I did recover those eggs and put them in the incubator as well. But that was the day after they were laid, and it's not good to have eggs rolling around after they've been laid. So I did pull those, and I noticed that there were another couple of eggs that she would inevitably kick out of the clutch in her attempts to cover the entire clutch. They were sticking out. She was having trouble covering those eggs, so I made the decision to pull the clutch before we lost any more eggs. I felt it was inevitable she was going to kick out more eggs, and the longer we leave it before we pull the clutch, the more likely it is that those eggs would die. So I have aborted this attempt at maternal incubation, unfortunately. Alright guys, I've made the decision to abort this maternal incubation. This female seems very restless, and over the course of the last 24 hours she's managed to kick out 3 of the eggs, and they all have good veins, but it looks like she's struggling to coil herself around these eggs. There's an egg sticking out here, there's an egg sticking out here. The eggs are all very, very flat inside this flat tub, and she doesn't really have much of a nest because I use newspaper. I suspect that she would prefer to burrow down and make a hollow to corral the eggs when she laid them. So my mistake, I think. This is not really a suitable space for a ball python to incubate her eggs. I think what I'm going to have to do is to provide her with a substrate that she can burrow down into and make a little hollow that she can lay her eggs in and keep them all clumped together. So I am going to pull this female off the eggs and put the rest of the eggs into the incubator before I lose any more. The eggs do look quite spread out and flat on the base of the tub here, so let's get that done. A lesson learned. We'll have another shot at maternal incubation with a future clutch, but I do need to put substrate in here for these girls. So let's see if we can lift her off the eggs. There we go. I'll put her into a tub of water. And sitting here in the tub, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and there's 3 already in the egg box, so she's laid 12 eggs with no slugs. which is absolutely incredible. These were laid 24 hours ago, so I am going to have to be a little bit careful about lifting them out and putting them in the egg box. I don't want them to move from the orientation that they are in, so I'm going to mark them. And let's see if we can get all these into an egg box. Without disturbing them too much. So this one here is already loose. These ones here, I'll just shift the newspaper out of the way, get as much of the newspaper off them as I can. Get that newspaper and the water bowl out of the way. Okay, and these eggs all are free to move, so I'm going to see if I can get them all into one egg box. This one can go in with the other rollouts, and I'll put these into a separate egg box. So here is the egg box that I prepared yesterday. And let's see if I can get all of these eggs without disturbing them. Yes. So there we go, guys. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 eggs that still have a very good chance of hatching out. They haven't been rotated or moved. This one has some paper on it. I'm going to try and get this one off. There we go. So let me just quickly candle these. Yes, 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 yes. These all have excellent veins in them, guys. Excellent veins. The embryo on that one is right at the bottom down there. And this one, the embryo is at the side, this side here. So they all look good. Plenty of room in that egg box. At the top, the eggs are not touching. So we'll get those off into the incubator and we'll rethink this maternal incubation. So let's just make a note of that. There are 12 eggs and 0 slugs. That is a very nice clutch. Okay, let's get this girl washed off and we'll get a weight on her. We'll give her a completely refreshed tub. little bit of hand soap. Let's get her washed off. Let's see if I can get a weight on this girl. Before she laid, she was bottoming out my scales. My scales only go up to 3 kilos. Let's get a weight. $2,355. She probably weighed a good 1,200 grams more than that, so she's now 2,350. So she probably weighed 3,500 grams when she laid. Big girl. Let's get her back in a tub and think about this maternal incubation some more. It's not going to work on paper in a flat tub. We're going to have to provide the female some sort of upside down container that she can use as a nest that will corral the eggs, so that when she lays them they'll be in a nice clump instead of spread out flat, and that will enable her to coil around the eggs much better. So my bad, my mistake, we live and learn. That method is not going to work for maternal incubation in my setup. I do not have substrate in any of my tubs. I don't like substrate in case it gets wet, which is the kiss of death in the tropics, and so we're going to have to adjust again in order to accommodate the maternal incubation. It's quite obvious that these females do need to have some sort of nest, some sort of depression in which to lay the eggs so that they are corralled in a nice clump. If she lays on a flat surface, the eggs are all spread out and it's too much for her to actually coil around the eggs if they're spread out on that surface. So didn't work, guys, but leave it with me. We'll make some adjustments and we will try again with a subsequent clutch. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.